Kia ora. This is a Wild Magic Tavern podcast.
Welcome to
Fury of the Small!
Cold winter winds howl around the Braggadock Peaks. But you are all cozy and warm.
Is it mutant?
In what is called the Mountain Haim.
Oh.
Goblins of many clans dwelling in this one great settlement. It is not always happy-clappy. Some of these goblin clans have long-standing rivalries or histories. There have been good years, there have been bad years. But the goblin market is where all come together to trade and to treat, to talk of the year that was, and to think about the year ahead. Through great hardship, you four made your own journey up into these mountains. But make it, you did. And now you are here surrounded by your kinfolk. Though you are a strange sight, the Jagged Jaw are not here in full force. One of the great goblin clans has fallen. Great curiosity surrounds you four, great pity, but also a growing fear. Because what has befallen your clan has happened elsewhere in the region. Adventurers in great numbers have moved up and down the Scimitar shores and have been delving into goblin clans. Sometimes a clan has survived, and at other times, none have been left alive. This is a goblin market that has tension running through it. But in the midst of that, there is a sense of true respite. Imagining everything that may be happening in a goblin market to your imaginations, where do we find each of your characters on the day that our adventure begins?
I think I'm looking for. I've had a little bit of a growth spurt. I'm still young, but I've got a little stronger.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for, people my age. Finally, some people my own age.
I will say, there are a little group of, scions of young chiefs, of which you are one, who always, hit each other up at one of these events. We'll say that you were with someone who is a distant cousin of yours. His name is Bollock.
Excuse me.
And he is the only one who is he was born in the same season as you, under the same moon, under the same star. And so you've always been paired up. He is part of the Braggadock clan, so the clan whose Haim you are currently in. And he's been one of your older friends. What are you two up to today?
Has he got the sight?
No.
Okay, great. Nice. Does he have siblings?
He does.
I think I'm just talking about. It's a nightmare. I mean, he's obsessed with me. Skree follows me everywhere. He can't get in. He's just around me.
You are lucky. I have only sister.
That's true. I do like having a little brother.
Sister follow me everywhere, bothering me. It's so tiresome.
Well, they're pretty nice, though, your sisters.
Don't you be looking at my sisters.
I'm not looking at your sisters. I'm just saying they're pretty nice.
Smiggle, don't look at my sisters, my guy.
Look, what? Are you challenging me? Are you challenging me? Because I've been training.
I will fight you.
I will fight you.
I will.
I fight you.
I challenge you to spar with spear.
I challenge you to spar with tiny little knives.
I challenge you first. You're having this conversation in the great tent. Inside the cave of the Braggadock clan. It's this huge pyramid-structured tent made out of hides. Fire burns within. It's very dark, very, very cozy. And you kind of are here because it's much better than your current setup. Bollock has a beautiful, pile of furs. He has sort of pitchers of mead and wine that he can call on at any time. The Braggadock clan are the most prosperous of the goblin clans.
Let's not fight.
You don't want to fight?
No.
He's already picked up a blunted spear. It's pretty it's one of the things you don't miss about having your father around is that he would often be pushing you to spar with other.
Let's just enjoy a lovely mead. Come on. It's been too long, Bollock.
You twist my arm every time. Sits down. So tricksy.
Yeah, well, I get it from my mum, I guess. Just fade off into the distance.
Oh my god.
As you fade off into the distance, you sort of look out of the opening of this big, beautiful, dark tent into the cave itself. Who else do we find out here?
I think Scritches has kind of set up a little stall for himself in this market.
Yes.
And is trying to sell like the cutting edge of gnomish disguises.
Get your moustaches here. Hair of all shapes and sizes.
Take me through it again one more time.
So basically what you do is you dip your hand into this sack, pull out something, put that on your head, tuck your ears in.
to choose what we are getting.
No, it's a lucky dip. I told everyone here it's a lucky dip.
I feel like he's putting a bit of something on us. What do you
I'm
want?
putting a wig on you. I've said it 300 times. I'm putting a wig on you.
What are we going to do with a wig?
You're going to sneak into a town and you're going to live there and learn about the people that live there and you're going to enrich your lives culturally by
Listen. I ain't going to no town. My boy, he went to town, didn't come back.
because he wasn't wearing a wig.
The crowd splits and dissipates. You'll have to find a new pitch somewhere tomorrow. The wig business is not flying.
Been a rough market for Scritches. Stuffs the wigs back in the bag, looks to the other bag, opens it, the Lederhosen sitting in the top. Ding! Closes
Off
it.
the buckles.
Maybe tomorrow.
You once again sort of cinch shut all of your bags. Some of the trade is still going on, but it's sort of getting to feasting time in the evening. You see as great bats swoop down through the winding entrances to the cave, high above where the howling winds are, bringing with them mountain goats.
Wow. Do I know anyone who rides a bat?
You probably have met a couple of people who have ridden bats in the past.
Okay.
If you want to go
adventuring sorts of people?
Yeah, you could head on up to like the roost where the bats stay and see if you could make some friends up there.
I'm heading to the roost.
You begin to wind up the natural stone that has been worked through druidic magic to create pathways and walkways ascending up and down this complex and beautiful cave network system. As you pass by, various goblins look at you, and you were aware at this point of like the whispers of what happened to your clan. And elder as you are still keen of hearing enough to hear a couple of goblins talking over some steaming cups of berry wine.
How did he make it out of there?
Oh, that's sad.
Just pulls both of his sacks over his shoulders and kind of continues heading up the stairs.
Sly is not with either of these characters. Where is Sly in the middle of all of this madness?
I think Sly's been staying close to the market, but she's mostly been outside by herself. She's very used to a solitary life. So I was just wondering what's like on the outside of the cave. Is it like snowy pine kind of forest?
Like vast evergreen pine forests, but then ascending higher than that, the highest points that you've ever traveled to. On beautiful, clear days, you can see up and down the whole scope of the world as you understand it to be. A great coastline stretching east and west. And you sort of see what many of the goblins of Bragdark talk about, which is that they truly understand that they are a tiny part of a vast and dangerous world. And they stick close to the mountain hame. And they don't bother with the likes of what some members of Jagged Jaw, like Scritches, did and sort of scavenge of human towns. They are almost completely isolated unto themselves. But the world is so much bigger than the few hundred goblins that are in the mountain hame right now.
I think from looking out, she's been kind of sitting almost like Simba at top of Pride Rock, kind of atop a stone. She shivers because she's not used to this type of cold, and she'll scrounge down beneath the rocks, crawling on all fours, until she finds one of her usual pine trees, which she'll scale and shake off a few of the snowflakes that have newly fallen, where she's kind of made herself almost like a little, it's not hollow, but a hidey hole.
Nice.
Almost like a hammock kind of moment. She climbs in and wraps her little ears around her and just waits and watches maybe the thought of where she will look next for some bones.
What does her face look like?
Oh yeah, her face is dark green, matching her ears and her skin. She's got kind of like a thick brow bone, I suppose you could say, that arches across the edges of her eyes, which makes her look like she's always permanently kind of evilly smiling at you. And a little sharp jaw, tiny snub nose. And the biggest feature of her face is her absolutely huge red eyes, I think. I think when they were through the skull, they appeared almost tiny, but now you can see that they're very large, almond-shaped red eyes.
I think you've been able to tell, or maybe it's been observed to you by your comrades, you do bear a great resemblance to a Braggadark goblin in terms of your ears, the wideness of your eyes to deal with the dark, the more bat-like features that you have shows that your parentage, whatever it came from in the den, probably ties you a little bit to this place. And where these guys get looks at them, you find that if you break yourself away, you can move a little bit unseen through the goblin market. Like people don't assume, they assume that you are of Braggadark. So they don't give you as much trouble.
In that case, I feel quite at home.
And Skree.
I think that I am. I was helping Scritches, and then when he was getting a bit aggressive, I think it was a bit much for me. And so I saw Smiggly with a friend, and so I trailed after Smiggly, and then I think Smiggly saw me and did the classic lose your little sibling. And so then I was looking for Smiggly for a bit, and now I've found myself kind of looking up over a little maybe stone bench that someone's laid out, supplies that I recognize from my mum's kit, because all of my stuff was taken. And so I want to kind of replace and trying to find a nice stone mortar and pestle kind of thing, or a wooden one and all those, and a sickle and things like that.
I think the elder goblin that is there selling her wares has sort of been aware of you as you, when a child is watching you, you're sort of aware for a while, you see what they're going to do, they approach. And as she closes up for the day, for feasting time, she quite conspicuously leaves the stone pestle and the sickle that you were eyeing on the bench and packs up her stuff. And as she steps away,
I know your mother very well.
Oh,
You should take these.
thank you.
gives you a little wink and a smile.
Huh. You should go back to your clan for feasting.
Okay. I scurry them into my new hammock satchel and I trundle off.
Make a straight persuasion roll for me, please, Scritches.
Okay. 14.
What you do is you hold on very tight. Very tight.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Very tight.
Yes.
Both hands.
Yes.
You ready?
Oh, we're flying.
And the bat lets go, opens its wings, and you are soaring and gliding over the cave mouth itself. The riders of these bats actually are in harnesses on the undersides of the bats. And so you are sort of strapped
hang glider
skydiver style on the chest of the goblin who you have persuaded to give you this particular experience that maybe you are regretting.
Yeah.
But as you fly and glide through the caverns of the goblin market, goblins do look up at you and smile. And you feel your face, even through the purple of your elder years, flushing a little green as you stop nausea from happening. And winds, twists, eventually the wings bat lands on the underside. You are dropped down in front of the partition of the cave, which has always been set aside for Jagged Jaw, now empty apart from your own poorly pitched clan tent.
Can I turn back to the...
The aviator?
Yeah. What was his name?
He is from Braggadark, so his name will be...
Ballsack.
His name will be Brill, B-R-Y-L-L. And like his namesake, he has oiled hair, sort of slicked back. He is one of the... You approached him because he is one of the few goblins who has tried to sport facial hair in the way that you have.
Real, that was incredible. I've never had an experience like that.
Well, if you can find yourself a wife, settle down up here in Bragadark, could be you. You've got a few years in you left, I think, yes?
I've got numerous years in me, of course, Brill, but I did have a question. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to talk about it, actually. Carrying a lot of pain now, I'm realising that.
My friend, we have just met. And it is...
Brill, right? We've not met before.
It's feasting time.
Oh, no, before you go,
Who is preparing your feast?
Okay, you're really hammering the nail. You know what happened at Jagged Jaw, right?
It is hard to talk of, but I know. I know.
Okay. Basically, but I'll level with you. I've got this bag. In the bag, there's a thing with your name on it. But what my clan...
You are the wig man.
That's right.
You are the wig goblin trying to sell the wigs.
Look, no, what I'm proposing is a trade, Brill. Okay, look me in the eye. Maintain eye contact with me, Brill. My clan, we're in dire straits, and we need a mode of transportation. I have in this sack something that's perfect for you.
And Scritches pulls out a little kind of triangle soul patch.
You apply this to your face with a bit of glue each day. You'll be the talk of this whole cave, of every clan, the world over. But my clan really needs
chin?
it. Yeah, on the chin.
Goblins do not grow hair on chin.
Exactly.
Several female goblins wander by looking at you as they pass.
See, look, already the attention you're getting, Brill. You understand, we've been through tragedy, Jagged Jaw, and we've got kids to take care of, and we need a bat. I think we need a giant bat.
Listen.
It would really help me.
On a full stomach?
I'll throw in hair goes down to your hips. Any wig you want, you can pick. None of the others could pick. Brill, please.
He lays a hand on each of your shoulders.
I think I'm feeling sick.
I think so. Listen. I feel your pain, my friend. Come and talk to me once you've had a full stomach and some time to think. Yeah. If you need to, we can trade for a ride.
I was thinking more we could keep it.
He shakes his head. He readies himself in the harness of his bat, who beats their wings and carries up into the toppermost parts of the cave. Each of you, one by one, drifts back. Feasting time, the clans gather together. They share food before, once again, the market resumes. So it's like time for the clans to come together. Traditionally, it's a time like when decisions are made, if there have been deals that have been happening, or talks or alliances that are being made. Feasting time, it is like no one will listen in on you. It is considered like an honored time where you will spend time with your own clan, which is hard when there are only 4 of you.
I'm definitely a bit drunk. Smiggly's
Nice.
first time drinking
Nice.
with Bollock.
You gather up.
How old are you?
I'm TBC.
Yeah, great.
Tween.
Yeah,
Wait,
cool.
but I've been left to my
I've
own
done a
devices.
terrible job of being a caregiver.
I've only had a couple.
You're trying your best. You're a solo dad, basically.
Yeah.
How does Jagged Jaw spend feasting time?
All right, guys. Cook this lovely rabbit, and everyone gets a bit. Does anyone want to say anything?
I open my hands and I have like stained with berries that I've just been collecting and foraging in the forest, and they're all squished. And I pour it over the rabbit like Salt Bay.
Delicious. Delicious, Sly. It's really added a lot to the meal. Lots of colour. Vibrant.
It is cold here.
Yes, it is cold. Skree, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, yeah. Did you fly on a bat?
I did fly on a bat. I did, yeah.
I thought I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you from the treetops.
It was amazing. You know what? Don't worry. Scritches is on the case. I'm going to get us a bat that we can all ride around.
I could tame a bat.
You can tame a bat?
I could try. Meet a wild bat. Sometimes the bats live in the trees with me. They hang upside down. They teach me to hang upside down.
Oh, right. I'm glad I didn't give away that soul patch. We just get a bat ourselves. That's a great idea, Sly.
How many wigs did you sell? Or trade for, sorry.
Well, none.
Oh, okay.
There was not one buyer, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yes, Smiggly? Do you have something to say?
No, nothing.
Did you find something, Smiggly? In the market?
Yeah.
Why are you grinning like that?
Just like the equivalent of like flushed for a goblin.
Smiggly, are you all right?
Yes, I'm doing really good, actually. Actually, I have something to say. I want to say, thanks. I want to say thanks to you, Scritches. You're a bit strange, and my dad never liked you. But, I
Your
probably...
mum did.
Yuck!
What? We all know that.
What?
Me and Sylvie were... there was a mutual respect.
I think that's disgusting. There was no mutual I was saying a lovely thing, and now you...
Sorry. No, I ruined the moment. I'm
sick of
sorry.
you. I'm sick of your
Sorry,
wigs.
Smiggly.
I
remember.
What?
When I was living in the cave, you and Sylvie were in love.
What?
Yeah.
No, they weren't in love.
Yes.
No, they weren't. My dad and my mum were in love. And no. And you're just trying to take his place, and you're not my dad. I'm leaving this cave. And I get up and I leave the feast.
Smiggly.
You can come with me, Skree, or you can stay here with this faker with the wigs.
Hey, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go just to check on Smiggly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
because I'm choosing between you two.
Well,
that's not what this is
no,
about.
Skree, are you coming or
Yeah,
what?
I'm coming. I'm gonna go after my brother. I'm gonna look after.
Yeah, you go after your brother. That's a good idea. So I don't know if it was quite the right moment to drop that one, but, I'm glad it's out in the open.
But Sly must tell the truth.
That's what
Always the truth.
That's what I really respect about you. Among other things, great at a fight. Really love to see you tame a bat. Shall we go do that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
We head outside.
Nights go by. The sales of the goblin market pick back up. Wares, news, promises, all traded. And you come up empty. Each night, you sit around the fire. In the long silences, you can hear other clans, music, chatter, laughter, bouncing off the grand granite walls. But you four sit, often, and listen. All in some small way now, outcasts. And in these silences, you sit on secrets. You turn them over in your head like a smooth stone.
Smiggly. Can we be maybe like lying down, about to be going to sleep?
Yeah,
On our pallets.
I like that. You've sort of like finished up for the night.
On our pallets of pine needles.
What?
Smiggly. Can you tell me the story again of how you found Potato?
What? Well, you know the story.
Yeah.
Potato just arrived one day. Nothing more to it.
Okay. Can I tell you a secret?
What?
So, you were really getting angry and like upset lots, and you were calling me names and stuff, but that's okay.
I don't do that kind of thing. But...
No. But, and then you kept talking about you wanted a cat.
Yeah.
And so, did Mum tell you the story of when her and Dad got together and she made him a puppet of a wolf? And then, just before they, got fully coupled together,
Yeah.
she gave it to him, and then the next day a wolf came down off the mountains.
Yeah.
And that was his big wolf, and that's the one that we knew.
Yeah.
Well, and then I pull out from my little sack, I pull out a little puppet of a cat, and I hold it out to you. I think I did this
Skree,
Yeah.
why do you have to make everything yours?
I didn't make one.
Potato is mine. Potato came to me. It had nothing to do with you. I found Potato. I was the one that buried the
What?
Nothing.
You buried the what?
Nothing. I didn't. Nothing.
Was it your magic?
I don't know.
And I'll just turn away and put my back. Skree.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was really trying to help, though.
Thank you, Skree.
There are 12 nights left of the moot. Every night, feasting time rolls around. The clans gather together, consolidate plans. For them, something is forming. You have some success going up to the Bat Roost, though it is well watched. Brothers, I'm going to say that unless you have an objection, it always kind of goes this way. Smiggly will lead off somewhere, fall in with some other young goblins. Skree, you follow, but you're kind of ignored at the side of these conversations. And this cycle, I think, will probably repeat itself a little.
I think the only thing I'd add is that occasionally when we're back in I always come back at night, and occasionally I just cry a little bit in my bed. And I do keep an eye on Skree just to make sure. I'm always ignoring him and playing with my friends, but just to make sure he's okay before he leaves.
Can I try and find to have a moment with Smiggly?
Yeah, I'll say that one night after feasting time,
Yeah.
you're about to go to bed, and Smiggly has been out later and later each rest. And with Sly and Skree sleeping beside you, your patience sort of snaps and you go, I'm going to go find the boy.
I head out and I start searching where I think Smiggly might be, where maybe the other clans.
Smiggly, what place of ill repute are you found?
Probably just with Bollock and just drinking and and often probably end up alone, like not really with anyone. I think maybe occasionally when I'm like truly like think I'm alone, like a little bit drunk on mead, I'm trying to make my own poppets just from what I've seen, even though no one's ever shown me how, and I don't know what they're for.
Nice. So I'll say, Scritches, you go looking around, you ask where Bollock and his boys have been.
Where are Bollock and the boys?
Bollock and the boys. And you go to a section of cave that was traditionally dedicated to a goblin clan who are not present, where apparently these guys have been hanging out. And you find some broken cups and crockery, the smell of weed and of goblins pissing against the wall.
Wow.
And left by themselves there is Smiggly, who is sort of attempting to create a puppet using some pine needles.
Scritches will take a deep breath in and rap on the side of the cave near the entrance. Get Smiggly's attention.
Hey,
Hello?
it's pretty late.
Yes, I know that. I'm just here doing my work.
Do you mind if I join you?
I suppose.
Is there anything left to drink or something?
Yeah, that would be nice. You could get us some more.
Okay.
Scritches will look for something to drink.
You step out, we'll say the market is in full swing. It's either like you are with your clan or the market is alive.
Yeah.
People sleep, rise, fall in their own time.
Cool.
You look down, you trade like one small,
Moustache.
like you've taken some of those knives and you've broken them up into small metal slivers that would make for an excellent arrow.
Cool.
You trade away one of those for a fine like wineskin
Cool.
and you return.
Can I also grab some water?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I come back, set the 2 bottles down.
Got something to drink. Got wine and I got water. Which would you like?
Wine.
Thought you might say that. Let's share 1 cup before going to bed.
Fine.
We can have a chat.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
Pours 2 glasses.
Hey, Smiggly, I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be your dad.
Well, it certainly seems like you're trying to be my dad.
I know. I guess I'm just trying to keep you safe. because, you're the eldest and really, we're in a place where you matter. You and Skree matter more than me.
Oh, don't talk
no,
about
it's
Skree.
true. It's true.
Skree's everyone's favourite.
No, well,
I know
Smiggly,
you
no,
love
it's you.
Skree the most, and you know what? My mum loved everyone but me. Turns out she loved you too. She loves you, and she
No.
loves Skree, and she loved my dad, and she never showed me, what's this? Useless little sticks, wrapped up in little bits and pieces, does nothing. Useless.
Smiggly.
Like me, useless.
Smiggly.
Couldn't save
Hey,
any
hey,
of them.
Smiggly.
Absolutely no good for nothing.
Smiggly, listen to me. When you were born, your mother, she stopped, things got awkward after the whole school business, right? But when you were born, she came to me, and it was the happiest I've ever seen her.
Really?
Yes. And I know she was so proud of you. Whenever we would talk, all she'd talk about was you. And Skree. But, it wasn't like, I don't think one love was greater than the other. I don't think that was ever true of Sylvie.
She did have a lot of love to give.
Exactly.
Maybe she did give a little bit to you as well.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Oh, who knows who was... Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you matter in this place. You and Skree, you could do something with all of these goblins here. What happened to us is happening to other clans. But you two need to be the ones to speak for us. It can't be me or Sly.
Why can't it be you?
Because you're the heirs.
Wow. I guess we are the heirs.
And there's magic in that.
Wow. Me and Skree together. Well, you should know that whenever my dad said those mean things about you, my mum always told him not to.
Yeah. She was good like that.
Yeah, she really, well, she thought a lot of you, I'll say that.
That's really nice to hear, Smiggly.
All right, well.
Okay.
So-
Well,
yeah.
I'm off to bed.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
find Skree. He's always wandering around.
He's asleep.
Oh, well, I better go and check on him. I am the eldest, after all.
Exactly.
I'm the leader of this whole situation.
Exactly. So lead on.
I will. And I'll sort of wobble.
I'll reach one hand out to steady Smiggly as we walk back to our dwelling.
Nights go by. Bollock is promised in marriage.
The best NPC name.
Yeah, Bollock is promised in marriage. He's stoked about it. One of the clans gets ready to leave. You sit on your shards of metal. Your efforts in taming a bat go well. You think you could maybe make good one day on that deal with Brill.
Absolutely.
And Smiggly, you are making your best efforts now to step up. Little by little, day by day. And this night, at feasting time, you sit around the fire. And the question that hangs between you all, a conversation that you've never had, rises unbidden to each of your minds, like a stray thought. What actually happened that night? But it's your own thought.
There was screaming coming from the den.
Yeah. And the four of them walked into the cave and just started killing.
The guards at the front released the water trap, washed them in.
They had someone. They had Sandor in a cage.
There was the smell of fire burning, smoke throughout the forest.
They were able to throw light that burned.
Mama got the tall guy with her vine, and then he killed her.
They played hideous music that made goblins bleed.
I saw the great tree fall down, crashing into the den.
And the old one took something.
He took my bag.
Yeah.
They were looking for something.
Yeah.
But what?
Step forward if you dare.
Oh God!
Like fish in the barrel.
What are you doing there?
Goblins are running in all possible directions, bumping into your sides, running out of every possible tunnel, tripping and falling. And these are not just warriors among them. There are old goblins, young goblins, all fleeing. As they run, some run out and escape from the room. I have a stat block here for the Goblin clan. At the top of, when it's their turn, which is first in initiative, I roll a d20. This is how many escape. So 5 goblins run out and escape.
Are they all leaving the main tunnel? where we
No,
entered?
multiple
Okay.
points of egress. They do provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Absolutely.
I will also take that with my bolt up. Oh, can we both do it?
You can both do it.
Yeah.
15 to hit.
Roll for damage.
17 to hit.
Very nice. These guys have an AC of 5, so for the future, if it is the Goblin clan, if you roll, I think you two probably don't need to roll as our marshals.
15 slashing, 10 radiant.
10 radiant. Amazing.
Are we the bad guys?
14 piercing damage on 2
14
crossbows.
piercing damage. You said fish in a barrel before. This is the definition of it. You you track a goblin running at your side. Your crossbow buckles under your shoulder. You immediately find another mark, and as your crossbow sweeps across, you fire once, twice more. Goblins down one at a time. Your sword can cleave through 4 or 5 at a time as it sweeps down.
I don't feel good.
Amidst the
Stop the
fleeing
ride, I wanna
goblins,
get
you
up.
see surviving archers who are aiming stone-tipped arrows toward you. It is Rhapsody, your turn first.
Gorgeous. I want to have fun with this. So Rhapsody's going to pull from the side of like a little pouch kind of thing attached to his belt, a barbed net, and he's going to try and throw it like a fisherman over as many, maybe a group of goblins nearby.
Absolutely. You cast out the net. Is it a saving? They have to make a little get out of it save.
It's a dexterity saving throw,
Amazing.
or they are restrained.
Disadvantage. That is a 6. You throw a net, and this barbed net casts out and bundles up a half dozen goblins in its clutches.
Okay. Can I have a question. So I have multi-attack. Do I have to use the same attack twice, or do I do another net, or can
one of
I
the new
now...
qualities of this item in D&D is that you can do that as one of your attacks. So you can make a second attack as well.
Great. So the second attack would be then crossbow just at the net of...
At the net of goblins?
At the net of goblins.
Make an attack roll at advantage.
Gosh, it's a 23.
Yep. Lustifer, you are up next.
7 piercing damage on that attack.
Amazing. You shoot into the net. Several goblins are taken out in that one shot as the powerful bolt goes clean through the net, buries itself in the ground on the far side.
And I think as I go, I'm just slowly walking towards them, just like reloading another crossbow, just raining in on these trapped creatures.
In this sea of chaos, Lustifer, what do you do?
I pull up my walking stick like a shotgun, and I go back to back with Norbert, and I am swinging it around, and I look for the greatest concentration of archers, and I let forth a fireball.
Okay, dexterity saving throw for them, disadvantage because they are in a panic.
I'm going to give them a 5 on that saving throw. As my eyes glaze over, they shine white, and then I see them kind of like scurrying and ducking and diving, and I know and I see one running, and I just know exactly when it's gonna run this way, and then double back, and then I shoot exactly where it's double back to.
Amazing.
28, 29, that's 32 points of damage.
32 points of damage.
In a 20-foot radius.
Whoa. Fireball licks up the sides of the wall. Dozens of goblins snuffed out in an instant. But moreover, the pelts start to burn. The baskets of supplies catch alight. And supporting the interior of this cavern, roots of the trees that grow above the hill begin to catch in the flames. Norbert, You see that there is, like, amidst the chaos of the goblin clan, there are those surviving archers around the sides who are aiming bows down toward you.
I think Norbert will just let the arrows bounce off him, and his intention is to seal as many of the tunnels out as possible.
You take up, like, a stance in that main tunnel.
Yeah.
That is, like, the main point of exit. Many goblins will have to pass you.
Yeah.
Many, like, skid to a halt as soon as they see you taking up that spot with your sword in your hand. Many of them will still try and take a dash for it.
Yeah, cool.
As you look up, I will let you make if you expend a guiding bolt,
Yeah.
you hold up your sword, and we'll say that almost like a beam of light shoots from it. Roll an attack roll for me.
Cool.
We'll say that every number above 10, so 10, 15, 20, everyone 5, you can seal another exit.
Okay, cool. That's a 15.
So you seal, like, as this beam shoots out, you seal 2 more of these exits. That many of them are, like, running towards, some are, like, crushed under the rubble, others turn their heads back around and look for somewhere else.
And then I think, he'll swing his sword back and increase the intensity of light that is coming from his sword. So, like, he sees this kind of, like, crowd of goblins standing before him.
Tears of golden joy running down your face
and
weeping game.
his mouth breaks into a smile.
Wow.
Wow, goodness me.
Emerging from all of this chaos, you see a single goblin who is walking toward you. Long silver hair falling almost down to the ground, who steps forward, looks up at you, and then plunges her hand down into the ground. As that happens, one of the roots of the tree breaks free from the cave wall. Your eyes return to this goblin. You see they have gone milky white, and like yours are weeping with this misty magic that falls
chills.
in a little pool at the bottom of her feet. She is casting a spell. She is casting Grasping Vine, and this long vine reaches down the root of the tree to seize at you. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
It does not hit.
The vine tries to wrap itself around you, and you just cut it away as she makes her strike. As this happens, she looks at you, hand comes out of the ground, and then her form falls into some broken leaves, and where there was a goblin, there is now a barn owl, which takes off into the sky of the cave.
The owl is a caster. Destroy it.
It is Carla Rose's turn.
What I'm thinking is look around where we're not and just try and collapse as much of the cave onto the goblins as possible. So if there's an area like the archers are that we're not, just collapse cave and ideally take some goblins with me.
Amazing. I will say that you run over to the opposite side of the cave that has already been partially collapsed by Norbert. And if we call this a use of the Thunderwave spell, so you take out your harmonica, you blare a loud note on it, and a wave of thunderous force will blast from you, which I think would be enough to close some more cavern mouths.
Great.
You do so, the note plays. I will say that you've done such a concerted effort as a group. I will say that this closes down all other possible points of exit apart from the tunnel that Norbert is standing in front of. You look up as, stumbling out of the crowd, a heavily injured goblin. Head is completely bald, holding what looks like an axe in his right hand, runs toward you and is going to swing that axe at you.
As he's doing it, I'm going to kiss my right hand. There's just a little heart with the arrow, and you now have disadvantage on your roll.
Very nice. That was an 11 for the first roll, only a 3 for the second roll. This goblin goes forward. You see that they're bandaged up. It looked like they were injured prior to what was happening. Forward, axe comes up over the head, buries itself in the ground, and then pulled back up into the hand. This goblin looks at you, raises up a hand, and then snaps a twig in its palm, and you feel this hunter's attention upon you. Goose pimples go up on your skin, and you feel like some instance of magic has been placed on you by this goblin warrior.
Right.
As he sweeps up for his second attack, axe up into the hand, bites into your side. That is going to be one of these and one of these. This goblin chief does 20 points of slashing damage to you. with its axe. You feel those goose pimples rise on your skin. Whatever this goblin has done to you, it makes you the target of even more damage. Like the wound that is cut on you bleeds more profusely than it should.
I look very beautiful though.
Oh, good.
As
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah.
The cave is burning. Exits have been sealed. It is the turn of the clan. More goblins running now directly past you. You see them. It's almost like in a sports game, like people they're trying to dodge and feint to get by, but one by one they run past you. You two can make your attacks of opportunity on them as they make their escapes.
Natural 1
Oh, amazing.
for my first attack.
For a little moment, you're stampeded, the sword tings out of your hand, the light on it, the magical light on it fades in that little moment it leaves your grasp. And you're left all of you are left in a very dark cavern, only lit by the burning goblin fire and the burning roots up above as a wave of goblins manages to escape past you. How many points of damage, Bryn?
Those 5 points. Piercing damage.
Amazing. You look down this tunnel where a bunch of them have just gone. You sort of let loose one stray bolt. Down there, you see a couple of goblins fall onto the ground. Rhapsody, it is your turn.
Gorgeous. I turn around and say, get your hands off my love. And I let a bolt free towards this chief goblin. Natural 1.
Amazing.
Norbert, to you.
In that instance, how far away is my sword? What's happening with my
We'll
sword?
say that it just falls out of your grip in this moment. Enough for the light to dim, just the firelights to take this little moment. Your hand scrabbles, finds it on the ground as goblins are all over you, and it lights back up.
Cool. I will, with my shield, smash it into the goblins that are still kind of, attached to the sword. Kind of, pushing them aside. Can I make a perception check to see if I see that owl?
I don't think you need to do a perception check. It is clearly the only flying object in this room.
In that case, I will throw a guiding bolt at the owl.
Roll for attack.
Cool. 11 to hit.
11 is the armor class of this druid.
Incredible. That is 15 points of radiant damage.
15
to that
points
owl in
of
the
radiant
sky.
damage. Owl hits against the side of the cave wall, a little bit of a tumble, and you see in the plume of feathers this long silver-haired goblin pressing themselves up to standing in one of those little alcoves high in the side of the cave wall.
I guess she is also shining with light.
Oh, amazing.
Maybe tears are now streaming down her face that are radiant and illuminated.
Amazing.
covering
Mingled
her
with the
body.
mist of that magic.
Yeah.
Almost like, we'll say, eclipsing the magic
Yeah.
that she was using. That misty light is now just this gold. And she is in earnest, weeping as she looks out over what she's seeing.
Oh.
Great.
I love tears.
It is now her turn. Goblin Druid stands, shining with golden light, looking at everything that is going on in this room. I think that after what she's just seen, she clocks that the wizard is probably the most dangerous in terms of the person who could take out all of her clan in a single strike. Still concentrating on grasping vine, a root reaches down Blusterfur out of the top of the cave mouth itself and attempts to seize you.
Oh, this is a continuation of the
This is
spell
a continuation
from
of grasping vine. And that is going to be a 22 to hit.
I am grasped.
You are grasped,
I have been grasped.
by the vine. You take 20 points of bludgeoning damage, and you
altogether too
are
much.
grappled by the vine, which hoists you up 20 feet off the ground into the middle of the chamber. From this position, she curls one of her hands, and you look, and in the firelight, you see it. There is almost looks to be a small wicker figure of a human or humanoid in the hand. And she looks at you and then reaches into a pocket and then adds 2 ears, and then she holds the puppet up and crushes it in her hand, and she casts the spell Blight toward you, Blusterfur.
Badass.
You need to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 16.
Well, I got an unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20. You still take 20 points of damage. That's halved. She rolled 40 of
Good thing I
necrotic
saved.
damage. This already aged elf looks like they have another 5 years taken off their life as poison and disease rattles their system. The little puppet crumbles into mushy, rotten leaves in the druid's hands.
Norbert, to me! Coming. As fast as I can.
Carla Rose.
Oh dear. Ooh. I will see this situation, I think, with the owl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the main situation that
Yeah.
we're all seeing here.
Yeah.
I do see it.
You feel still greatly threatened by the warrior at your side.
Right, I'll focus on myself. So I will pull out of my cleavage, obviously, a pack of cards. I'll spread them, and I will I'm casting Mind Games.
Amazing.
So a target must succeed on a DC 14 Wisdom saving throw or take 1d6 plus 4 psychic damage.
I feel like Carla invented this spell.
This guy has got +3 to his roll, but he only rolls a 9, 10, 11, 12. Does not succeed.
Great.
The spread of cards before him, his eyes dart down to them.
So this is what he takes. 6 points of damage, but he also has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Amazing. As you spread these cards, we'll say that they're like tarot cards, and it's like a full bad luck spread that you show before him, and some of that luck catches.
Amazing.
You still have your bonus action available to you.
Yes.
And yeah, he has disadvantage on his next attack roll, so if you were to try and get away from him, he would have disadvantage on his opportunity attack if he were to take it.
Great. I want to get with my friends. So how far away are they? Oh,
You can cross,
really do.
you can cross to
friends.
you can cross to anyone apart from Blusterfur.
Okay, so Blusterfur's in trouble. Norbert's all good. I'll run to Rhapsody and the cage.
Amazing.
Because worst case scenario, we'll get out alive, the two of us. That's the best, and worst. So yeah, I'll just run to Rhapsody.
You run away. The Goblin Chief takes a swing at you. That's going to be... Ooh, it's still a 19 to hit.
I have one last lucky kiss.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do my final kiss on the wrist, the heart with the arrow through it, and I am gonna give you disadvantage on that.
Amazing. You make that lucky kiss, and the fate of those cards comes true. The axe swings down. It nicks off just like a perfect lock of your hair. Long curly black hair cuts, falls to the ground, and then you skid at Rhapsody's side.
I'm definitely not looking as cool as I did once. I've kissed my wrist a lot, and I am quite damaged. Quite sad.
Your wrists are red raw.
Yeah.
You've been kissing them
Like,
so
hash rash on your both your
all
wrists.
over your wrist.
I'm in trouble, but I'm also beautiful still.
As always.
Closing in behind you, the Goblin Chief gives chase toward you.
Ooh.
But I will say, as arrives, you are sort of tucked behind Rhapsody, and the chief instead spins axe in the hand, sort of lowers into a squat, and begins to circle you, Rhapsody. As he does so, he is going to drop into the ground at his side. You see he pulls like goblin arrows, and he drops them into the ground one by one until he makes like a little half circle of arrows, which are down in the ground.
Cool.
At the end of that, a single one of those arrows shoots up from the earth straight toward you. You need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's 13.
13. You
Yeah.
take 3 points of piercing damage, and as the arrow bites into you, he moves forward with his axe to make his 2 strikes. The first is a miss. The second is a natural 20. Axe
trouble.
in hand, he leaps toward you, both hands above his head, leaps recklessly, brings it down head and shoulders on you. That is going to be a 32 points of slashing damage.
Good God.
I'm out.
Goblin Chief
I
leaps.
fall to the ground.
That little moment of distraction, the arrow in the shoulder, axe bites down into you. You are tugged bodily to the ground by this axe.
Still smiling though. He's happy. He's in combat and fall to the ground unconscious with a smile on my face, a golden fang glinting.
Carla, your protector is down, unconscious, breathing raggedly, blood bubbling between those golden teeth. Goblins are still running, fleeing, arrows bouncing off armor, sinking into the ground. Rhapsody, can you make a death saving throw, please?
Yes, how does one do that again?
Roll a d20.
Yeah.
If it is 10 or higher, it's a success. If it is lower, it is a failure. If it's a natural 1, you lose 2 death saves. Natural 20, you come back up with 1 hit point.
Great.
Is Rhapsody close enough to Norbert? Or no?
No, I
Nah,
think.
we're indifferent.
Middle of the cavern mouth, in the tree.
My death saving dice, yeah. 13.
13.
Yes. All
You
right,
cough
Paddy.
a little. Carla, you look still unconscious for the purposes of the game, but we'll say that Rhapsody opens eyes a little bit and gives you a little wink, Carla.
Even as they're dying.
Blusterberg, you look down.
Yes.
Beside the fire, your dwarven hunter is unconscious. There are only now a few scattered goblins running around. Fires are still burning this cavern little by little. And lastly, your gaze rises to that of the druid who is slumped against the cave wall, still shining with light, holding on to the spell that is grasping you.
I'm going to, from upside down, pull out my bone walking stick rifle, and I'm going to shoot a firebolt at this person.
Shoot.
18 to hit.
18 to hit. Hits.
Okay. It's 3d10, isn't it? 19 points of fire damage.
Did you roll at advantage?
No.
Roll once more, just in case it's a 20.
It is a 20.
Wow. That's how you always
We
roll
need
two.
this.
So that was... Oh, I'll roll again?
No, it will kill her.
Great.
How do you do it?
I'm like bleary-eyed. Everything's kind of foggy and hazy. I'm trying to peer through different realities that I'm kind of foreseeing at once, and then all of them kind of blend together with this incredible guiding bolt that illuminates my prey. And then I see her from upside down, and I say hi to your dead ancestors for me. And I shoot this fire, and I blast her, and then the grasping vine releases me, and as I'm free falling down, I then pull my hood up off my cloak, and it wraps itself into like a black hole, and then a blue flash happens, and I appear up where she was hiding, and I start instantly rummaging through her belongings.
You do. There is a satchel at her side that is burning. You stamp it out very, very quickly, tumbling out of the satchel all kinds of little items before you. Bones, trinkets, pottles, plants, all before you. You scuff at them with your feet. What you seek is not here. Very rare for you, but there is a little flash of rage through you.
Damn it all.
Your eyes turn back to the cavern, and one little goblin is looking up at what is happening here, frozen. This goblin has passed your attention because he's so small, but at its side is a satchel almost identical to this goblin druid's, and this goblin is staring up at this ledge where you stand.
I scream.
Seize that goblin!
It is now Norbert's turn.
Norbert kind of grits his teeth and charges forward, raising his sword.
Make your attacks.
2 attacks. 14 to hit
Hits.
and 15 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. 15 slashing damage. 13 slashing damage. And I'll pump my last divine smite to it. 10 radiant damage.
Goblin falls down, less than 10 hit points on it in the ground, but still alive.
I step on it.
Boot crunches down as this goblin looks up at you, pure hatred in its eyes.
Yeah, there's pure hatred in mine as well. So
Color Rose, your turn.
I will just call out, Norbert, you have to get Rhapsody out of here now. I'm sort of at this point. I'm really just. I don't have much strength, but I'm just standing near Rhapsody, or more like a motherly figure at this moment, just like stroking Rhapsody's hair. And I will just pull out. I'm sort of disheveled at this point, but I'll pull out some petals that I've kept for this moment, and I'll just chuck them out to who I can see who's kind of coming towards us, goblin-wise, and cast Bane as a kind of desperate act. And then, with my bonus action, is it possible to try and sort of just get Rhapsody into a ready position to be lifted?
I will say, as a free action, you can sit your friend up.
Yeah.
Blood down the chest.
Yeah.
Saliva, blood.
And I'll just sort of be calling, help us now, we need to leave.
Blusterfer, I think you look down at this. Your party, you've sort of lost control of your employees at this point.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the bonds that they have formed as an adventuring party are a little bit stronger than your shouted commands at this moment, which is inconceivable to you.
I should have foreseen this. I should have foreseen this. It's a tricky balance sometimes.
Is it my turn?
Before your turn, Your quarry, that single goblin with the satchel, is tugged at the arm by a second goblin, and they both begin to run toward the now vacant tunnel out of the cave.
The satchel is
It is like bobbing on his hip as he runs.
okay, great. I fumble in one of my many pockets, and I pull into a demi-plane where I hold my belongings inside my pockets, and I pull out a scroll and I unravel it, and I start to incant in deep, ancient Elvish. And you all experience life as normal, but for me, the fire starts to slow down as it flickers. The goblins start to slow down as they run. The drips from the top of the cavern pause in midair, and I cast Time Stop.
The whole scene freezes
Big dogs.
for you, Blusterfer. Roll a little d4, see how many rounds you've got available to you.
4 rounds.
You have 4 rounds.
I take it. I put hands on my knees.
Goodness gracious me.
I pull my hood up once again, misty step down to the bottom level. I stroll past the fleeing goblins, gently pressing side by side of them. I don't want to push them over, or else it'll undo the spell. And I wander up behind this fleeing goblin with a satchel, and I just give the satchel just a little prod, just to test it.
Little clinking and clanking of objects in there. This goblin has got one arm sort of taut, being pulled, fleed into escape. And as you sort of prodded it, he teeters a little on the spot.
I look over to my companions.
They're in this beautiful, truly of ages heroism pose.
like a Renaissance painting.
If you didn't know them to be such pieces of shit, you would go, like, there is a stray thought through your head. It's kind of like, this is what adventuring looks like. Little halfling propping up the injured dwarf, powerful paladin standing over, blade raised above his head, crushing the body of a goblin underfoot.
Yes. Well, this used to be quite beautiful, but now we are on to bigger and greater problems and issues, and here we go.
I pull out another scroll from my pocket. I, with one hand, rip it and begin incanting a spell as I grab the satchel off this goblin. I whip out the scroll with one hand. The elven script on it starts to glow a violent blue. I grip the satchel with my left hand, and I yank it. And as I yank it, the drops can start to slow motion fall and continue. The fire starts to flicker again, and I stride, while pulling the satchel behind me, stride towards you all and say, "We're out of here!" And I throw the scroll down on the ground, and blue flash echoes out like a shockwave. And instantly I appear in front of you, and I say, "Are you coming with me?"
I'll just grab Rhapsody and put a hand on you, just wondering if wherever we're going, I'm coming.
Yes.
Norbert!
Just one more thing to do.
Slam the sword down.
Sword sinks through his chest, and then the teleport spell takes you away.
Fury of the Small was produced by the Wild Magic Tavern in partnership with the Spinoff. It was written and game mastered by Paddy Carroll, with Tom Eason as Skree, Hope-Higginson as Smiggly, Arlo Gibson as Scritches, and Brynley Stent as Sly. Series artwork is by Lars Cawley. It was produced, edited, and sound designed by Aihe Butler. Special thanks to Sam Small, Olivia Marhood, Lewis Gregory, Mad Chapman, Jen Follett, and all our nerdy mates we've played D&D with over the years. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you check out Nightcap, our special after show where Paddy and the cast pull back the curtain and talk about their experiences making Fury of the Small. You can find these as bonus episodes in the podcast feed, or see full video versions on the Wild Magic Tavern's YouTube channel. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope to have you back at the table soon.